Hello everyone, welcome to today's session, welcome to New IAS. I hope you are having good time, I hope you have given your best for the UPSC Prelims 2021. Here in today's video, we are going to talk about the geography questions and we are going to see their answers of UPSC Prelims 2021. Now the first question here is regarding water distribution. It's a very easy question, I hope all of you have made it right. And this is a very small topic which is given in NCERT, but from this small topic they have already asked two previous questions. So those who have been following our classes and those who have been following the previous questions would understand that, would have studied this area. Anyway, here the question is reference to the water on planet Earth, consider the following statement. The first one, the amount of water in rivers and lakes is more than the amount of groundwater, which is wrong. Okay, we have more water in the groundwater when compared with the rivers and lakes. There is a box given in NCERT and this question is based on that, and from the same area as I told you, they have twice asked previous questions from this topic. Anyway, here the first statement given here is wrong. Okay, the amount of water in the groundwater is more than the rivers and lakes. Now moving on to the second statement, the amount of water in polar ice cap and glaciers is more than the amount of groundwater, which is true. Around 97% of total water is in oceans, and the remaining water, 2% is in, around more than 2% is in polar ice caps and glaciers, right? Now remaining 1% is the entire one, and out of that, groundwater has more water than the fresh water. Now here the second statement, the polar ice cap and glacier, they do have more water than the groundwater. Okay, so here the second statement is true, the first statement is wrong, and the answer is B, which is true only. I hope all of you have made it right. In case if it's wrong, it's okay, we are going to move on to the next question. Now before moving on to the next question, this question was discussed in our classroom session. Now this is the screenshot of our e-learning portal. You can see here the date, and this topic is regarding the water distribution. As I told you, there was two previous questions, and both of those questions were solved in the class as well. And for those who have attended that session, it would have been a very easy question, this one. Moving on, the next question is regarding the offshore-onshore nature of the wind and thereby the temperature distribution of the oceans. Now this question as well is a conceptual part of the physical geography which was taught in our classroom session, and it is also given in the NCERT as well, and they have also asked a previous question from this topic for the mains examination. I think it was in 2014, I forgot the year, but it was in 2014 or 13. The question was regarding major hot deserts, right, and the question is also available, that section is also available in our YouTube video itself. Anyway, here it is said in tropical zone, the western section of the ocean. This is one place where we can get confused. The western sections of the continent, oceans, are warmer than the eastern section owing to the influence of trade wind. Now this concept is related with offshore and onshore nature of the wind. Okay. Now imagine this is South American continent, and here this is the African region. Just imagine like that, and here we have the equator going on, and if the wind is blowing like this, the trade wind is blowing like this, wherever the wind is blowing onto the shore, this region here, this region is receiving incoming wind. Thereby what happens is that it will drag the warm surface ocean water towards the continent. So in this region we say that the wind is onshore, and thereby it will result in warm ocean current. Now exactly on opposite side, when the wind is leaving the continent, it is moving away from the shore, and we call it as offshore wind. This offshore wind takes away the warm ocean water. Because of this movement, what happens is that the deep surface, the cold water from the deep surface rises up. This process we call it as upwelling. Okay, so what happens is that if you take a continent, the eastern margin of that continent, because of the onshore nature of the trade wind, would be having warm ocean current. The western margin would be having cold ocean current. Here, the question is regarding oceans, not regarding the continents. So the western section of the continent. So here imagine this is a southern Atlantic. Here we have Africa, and here we have the South American continent. So the warm ocean current is here and cold ocean current is here. And South America is this side. Here the western part of the South America, we have the Humboldt, Peruvian Humboldt current, and here we have the Benguela current as well. So here what happens is that the western margin or western section of the ocean is warmer, because why? Onshore nature of trade wind, right? And the eastern section of the ocean is colder. Again, why? Because of the offshore nature of the trade wind. I hope it's clear now. This question is regarding the onshore and offshore nature of the wind, and here the first statement is right. Okay, the oceans, the western section of the oceans are warmer than the eastern section owing to the influence of trade wind. Similarly, if we go to the temperate latitude where the wind regime is westerly winds, in that case these things which we discussed, that margin changes. For example, if the ocean in the tropical region is warmer in the western part of the ocean, in the temperate latitude, this instead of the western margin, it would be eastern margin. For example, the westerly winds are changing the direction. Now, imagine this one huge square cube is an continent. Here we have the equator. So there is this one latitude we have trade wind moving like this, and on top of that another latitude, in the temperate latitude, we have the westerly wind going on like this. So the westerly wind is onshore in the eastern margin of the ocean here. In this region, the westerly wind would be onshore. Thereby, it would be more warmer. The condition, the nation you can take an example here would be UK. UK is more warmer when compared with the same regions of the European nations at the same latitude. The reason is the westerly winds are bringing in the warm ocean water. It also brings more rainfall. So anyway, look at this statement. In the temperate zone, westerlies make the eastern section of the oceans warmer than the western section, which is right. So here this question is, or here the answer is both 1 and 2. Now, as I told you, this was discussed in our classroom session, and this is where we are exactly talking about the onshore and offshore winds, and also we were talking about in oceanography, we are talking here, it's regarding the temperature distribution and the factors influencing the temperature distribution, ocean currents, and here regarding the pressure wind, atmospheric pressure and wind, we were talking about the offshore and onshore wind and how it influences the desert formation, rainfall and temperature pattern. Now moving on, another super easy question. The black cotton soil of India has been formed due to the weathering off. Now here there are two confusing options. One is B, another one is C. Now this one, like the black soil, which is predominantly found in those Deccan Trap regions of Maharashtra, surrounding regions of Madhya Pradesh, then the surrounding regions of the Gujarat. Now here in these regions, due to the ancient geological movement, basaltic rock has intruded into the surface. Right, the basaltic rock, the type of igneous rock, basalt. Okay, now this has come out through the volcanic eruptions. Right, there is no volcano right now, but when the plate was moving, this eruption took place. All these things we will be discussing the oceanography. I am not going to detailed conceptual part. So here you have to keep this in mind. This was due to the fissure volcanic rock. Okay, here the granite is also a volcanic rock, but schist is not a volcanic rock. It is a metamorphic rock. So thereby you can eliminate the C option, and it should be, the answer is B, which is fissure volcanic rock, and the rock type is basaltic rock. Basalt. They are basically forming from basaltic rock. So this black cotton soil, as the name suggests, is suitable for the suitable for the cotton cultivation. It has abundance of like, it doesn't have this one like the humus or organic matter or nitrogen in it. So this is also was discussed in our classroom session, where we are talking about the soils, the black soil, their formation, where they are found, the properties of the black soils among the other soil types. Now this was also directly asked from the NCERT itself, and if you have been following the conceptual part of this NCERT, and if you have been thoroughly understanding the NCERT, this was an easier question for you. Now the next one is regarding the climatic part. Now this is more of regarding, I mean it is regarding the climatic part, yes, but the question is more of regarding the vegetation in that region. So the vegetation of savanna, now it's a tropical grassland, consists of grasslands with scattered small trees, but extensive areas have no trees. So there is a grassland, but in between there are short trees. They are not thick forest. The forest development in such area is generally kept in check. Okay, so here the development of forest is kept in check, right, by one or more of the combination of some conditions. Which of the following are such conditions? So here we have to identify which of the following conditions are checking or are stopping the development of forest in this region. Okay, now going through the options: burrowing animal and termites, fire, grazing herbivores, seasonal rain, soil properties. Straight away, like if you know what is the savanna region, if you have attended the the world climate part, you'll understand that the savanna region, the climatic property is that alternate wet and dry season would be there. One season it would be wet and the next season it is dry, and it would be alternating. When it is dry, it is very dry and it can cause a drought, and when it is wet, it can cause the flooding conditions. So this seasonal change in rainfall is very high in the savanna region. Okay, so this seasonal rainfall, what it happens is that during this dry time, it would be drier and the grasslands would dry up, and easily fire can take place in these regions. So without thinking much, we will be able to see that the seasonal rainfall is one reason, and this region, the rainfall is not very high, like where thick forest cannot grow there, because the rainfall is decreasing towards the desert region. Equatorial region, there is more rainfall, and this savanna type of climate is a transition between equatorial type of climate and desert type of climate. So the rainfall is gradually decreasing. So thereby this cannot support the lush growth of the vegetation. Thereby it is having the grasslands. Okay, so the seasonal rainfall is one of the predominant or the easiest options here, and going through the options, you can see here the one having 4 in it, B and C. So thereby you can eliminate the D option and the A option. So answer is either 4, 5 or it is 2, 3, 4. Now reading the fifth one, soil properties, maybe it can be. Now looking at the second and third one, look at here, if any one of the second and third one is correct, then the answer would be automatically becoming C, going through the options. Okay, so the second one, fire, which is true, right? When fire happens up, these trees cannot spread because the fire is damaging this thing. And why that fire is taking place? Because of the dry alternating season. Alternatively, there would be dry, very dry or drought season would be there. So fire is one reason, and thereby itself we can conclude that the answer is C. Okay, so here the answer is C. And the grazing herbivores, obviously for the grazing these animals, they will not be able to, because of that the forest is not developing in these regions. So these are the prime 3 regions which is stopping or which is checking the forest development in this savanna region, and here the answer comes out as C, which is 2, 3 and 4. Now here this as well is not entirely answerable from the class, but the savanna topic was discussed in the class and the seasonal property was discussed, and it was enough to find the answer using the common logic and the elimination method. Now another question, this is one is from agriculture. Among the following, which one is the least water efficient crop? So among the options sugarcane, sunflower, pearl millet, green, red gram, right? So this gram, millet, they all survive in the dry climate. They doesn't need much amount of rainfall. But in the same case, there is sugarcane. Sugarcane, it needs high amount of rainfall. So and the sugarcane cultivation is spreading throughout the nation, and it is more spreading from the north towards the south, because there are various reasons. New machinery is available, tropical climate is good, but they also need high amount of rainfall. So instead of this rainfall, they are providing more and more irrigation. So excessive irrigation is needed for the cultivation of sugarcane, and sugarcane is one of the least water efficient crop, or one of the water intensive crop, which is sugarcane, right? Now this again, as I've been saying now, this was also discussed in our agriculture class, where major crops and cropping patterns were taught about, and the sugarcane, the properties of sugarcane, and it is spreading from the north to south, and it is a water intensive crop. All these features were talked about in this session itself. I hope you liked today's session, and this was the part 1 series, part 1 video of the geography answer key of UPSC Prelims 2021, and we'll be coming out with one more video, part 2. Now irrespective of whether how you gave your prelims this time, irrespective of these answer key, and irrespective of the mark you're scoring for the answer key, sit down and start with your mains. Don't wait for your results to come, don't wait for you to clear the prelims to start your mains preparation. The right time to start your mains preparation is right now. if possible today itself, try to start your mains preparation and you will not regret. Either this time or next time you need the mains preparation, and next time let her be like you will be able to be better prepared. And so don't wait for the prelims result to come, start the mains right away. Don't lose your time, don't have any time to lose. You will be having around 87 days for this mains examination. So start today itself. I wish you all the best and thank you for watching the video.